I'm back. I just want to share with you a couple more videos. These are being done in succession. I don't have a lot of time, so when I do have a little bit of time, I can try to squeeze in some filming, I figured. This dream is about water, and actually there are 3 consecutive dreams that happen at different intervals. 2 were close together, and the third one was a few, like maybe a year away from the other 2. Or no, several years. I don't always write them down. I've had so many, I really don't write them down. I need to, but I haven't written those down. But I hope you can hear me. Well, I was in this house. I never thought about it being a tsunami until after the Japan quake, and maybe that could have been, maybe that was a tsunami that I saw. I'm not saying I saw the Japan tsunami. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying I wonder if what I saw in my first dream that I'm about to tell you about was a tsunami. I was at this beautiful home. There was like a big wall of windows, like picture windows, big glass windows, but it was like a wall. And you could look outside and see this like a deck, and then there were these rails, and you could see over that, and you could see the water, and I could see a bridge in the back, and I could see like roads. Come to think of it, it does kind of look like some of the footage I've seen in Japan, the way some of the roads were. If you can picture that scene, darn, I wish I could add the footage here, but I don't want to infringe on anyone's copyright. So, but there was this long, massive bridge, and the water was coming underneath the bridge. It almost reached the top of that roadway, and you could see these giant boats getting ready, like diving under the bridge and stuff. If you've seen that footage, it was like that. It looked like that. It was a cement, bridge area, and all where I was like cement, but I could see the water. But the water was not high. It was low. Everything was calm. The water was calm. There was no turbulence whatsoever. So I'm at this dinner party at this house, and we're talking and fellowshipping, and then the next thing I know, I walk over to the window. I excuse myself from the group of people I was talking to, and I walk over to the window, and I'm looking out of the window, and I see this water coming from out of nowhere, and it was coming with such a vengeance. I mean, it was kind of like a force, and I'm thinking, wow, what's going on over there? And excuse me, my allergies are flaring up again, but I got to get through this. So I'm seeing this water come out of nowhere, and with no explanation for why it would have just come like that. And it was coming so strong that it was rising up like the top of the bridge, and then it went down low, and then more water came behind that, and with just such force, more water just kept coming till it rose so high that it came over the deck that I was telling you about, and it came towards the house. And by this time, I think I was yelling, "Look out," or something, and then other people started seeing it too, and we tried to run for the door to leave the house, or I don't know what we were going to do because we didn't have enough time. But the water literally, it was the scariest thing. It crashed the windows, it crashed all the glass, and all the water came rushing into the house quickly. It overtook us. And I remember turning around to run away, screaming, and then I woke up. Now that I think about it, I think that was a tsunami that I saw, because that would explain why the waters were calm, and then all of a sudden there's this gush from out of nowhere, and the way that it came like in waves and rose rapidly. That sounds like a tsunami. The other dream that I had was a water. It was not far after this dream. I'd say within a week's time I had this dream, and it was at a house that I used to live at, where there was these hills behind the house, and it was not near the water at all. But I was in this house, and I remember looking out of the window, and I could feel something coming, but I didn't know what. And I kept looking at the hill behind the house like I knew something was coming from there. And then sure enough, there's this water that came running down the hill from the top of the hill. It came over and came all the way down towards the house. And I remember thinking, this is going to be bad, and I better get out of here. And so as I could still see the water, though, more water came behind that first run downhill. And more came to the point it was like someone was dumping an ocean over the side of this hill. The water just came down so fast down the hillside, and it literally was washing the house away. And I don't know if I got out in time or not, but I woke up, and that really bothered me. Now, it could have been that I had the other dream on my mind at that time, and maybe it was played out in this dream. Maybe the concern that I had, I wasn't really terrified or anything when I had the first dream. I thought about it, but I gave it some thought, but I wasn't really afraid or anything. So maybe it was still on my mind more than I thought. I don't know. Now I had the same or similar dream just I want to say in 2010 at the end. It was December. It was Christmas time because I remember in real life it was Christmas time, and in the dream it was during the Christmas season. I saw some people at a Christmas tree lot. I had been there, but I left because I didn't see a tree that I wanted and went back home. And when I went home, there were these painters that were painting the house, and my mom was down in the kitchen. She was going to make something to eat, and she's got Alzheimer's in real life, and in the dream she had it too. And I should say reality, but she had Alzheimer's in the dream, and I remember looking out of the window, and I saw this whole mountain area. I want to say the Sierra Madre mountain range. I don't know if that's the correct name. I have to look it up. I apologize that I didn't have this information for you ahead of time, but I may add it to the info box if I can get some time later. But we call it Mount Baldy. We know it as Mount Baldy, and so if you know that area, it's a big mountain chain. And I saw this water come over the whole, just like the last dream that I told you about. The water came over the mountain and just gushed over the whole range, like literally like somebody was dumping out of ocean, and it ran down the hill so fast that it flooded the whole valley, and it came up to where we were quickly and with force. And when I saw it, I told the painters, we got to get upstairs, we got to get to higher ground, we got to go now. And I told my mom, come on, Mom, we got to go. And she said, okay, but can I just go make a sandwich? And she was going to go in the kitchen and make a sandwich. Do I have time to make? And I said, no, Mom, we got to go. You don't understand. The water is coming like right now. We got to get upstairs quickly. So I literally had to take her by the hand, and I led her upstairs. And when we got up there, just in the nick of time, because the water came and filled the whole first floor. Thank God it didn't rise higher than that. But just as quickly as it came, it receded and went right back out of the house. And the painters were there, and they were like, well, we're going to survey the damage and see what this is going to cost you to repair the damage. The water did not stay, so it may not be as bad as what it could have been, but, it left. And so with that, I remember thinking, wow, that was a trip. Where did that come from, and what happened? There's no water over there. There's just desert. That whole area that I just described to you, that it's where the Wrightwood ski resort, or Wrightwood area, where that is, and the desert. There's desert behind that, Palmdale, and I think if you continue on that way, like the Mojave Desert area, it's further north. So there's definitely no ocean water that way. So I don't know if maybe, and I just got this thought, that maybe the whole valley area is about to be inundated, or that maybe these floods represent an inundation of trouble that's sweeping, and that's very forceful and impactful. I don't know, but I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on this, and any interpretations that maybe the Lord gives you. And if I get any, then I'll be sure to share those with you. So on that note, I am going to end this video, but I do want to say thank you for listening, and you can throw stones at me if you want to, but I'm just sharing with you what I saw. Take it for what it is. Pray about it. Let the Lord lead you and give you what, if anything, you need to glean from this. As always, be safe, be prepared spiritually, physically, and otherwise. Take care.